Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. Hope you had a good weekend. Did you miss me on Friday? I kind of missed it. I was going to do it on Saturday instead, but I was just way too tired. I couldn't get up early in the morning. I knew that at like 1 a.m. and I still hadn't gone to sleep. I'm like, that's not going to happen. So, missed you all. I did miss working. I haven't worked since last Wednesday, and that's a lot of time off for me. It was kind of nice, but kind of boring too. It wouldn't have been boring if it wasn't so rainy. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to be doing some channeling. I thought I'd get the Dark Mansion Tarot out. We've got the Two of Cups on the bottom there. I didn't even notice that. Dark Mansion Tarot out, just because Americans are doing Halloween already, even though the rest of the world just celebrates it for like one night. Americans do it for a month, so hey, let's do it. Healing. Party was great, thanks, Judy. Oh, we had a great time. We thought perhaps, because my friend whose birthday it was, she came to pick me up, and she was a little bit worried that it was going to be really quiet because, she was going to be away, and she told everyone, I'm going to be away. I'll have my party on Saturday, but I don't want a big party, she said. And then here she was, and she's like, well, I've told everyone, but I don't know if they're coming because a lot of people were out the night before. And anyway, it turned out it was really good. It was a really good time. We had a great time until 4 a.m. dancing. Oh, it was good. Yeah, very good. So yeah, I was very tired the next day and then didn't sleep properly the night after that. So anyway, let's do some channeling. If you're on here live with me, you can get a mini read if you want one. Check out that pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat, and tells you how to do it. It's by donation. There's a PayPal link in there for your donations. You can also use Super Chat or Super Sticker here on YouTube if that's easier for you if you want. And after you've done your donation, put a capital Q at the start of your comment that's got your question in for your reading. Now, your question can be very specific if you want, or it can be loosey-goosey like general guidance or general love guidance, whatever you want. Extra in America. Yeah, you like to celebrate things, huh? Yay. I've never really been into Halloween that much. I used to do the trick-or-treating. That only came to the UK. It kind of spilled over from America. We never used to do that. And then it was on TV programs, so we started doing it because we thought, this is a good idea, we can get some stuff. But most people didn't know what it was about. Go up to the door and trick or treat, and they'd be like, what? Oh, and then they go, okay, I'll have a treat. And they're like, no, you're meant to give us a treat. They're like, what? Get out of here. You're having Thanksgiving tomorrow. Oh, hey, Deborah. Hi, Jessica. Judy. Let's do some channeling. So yeah, get your donations in. If you want those mini reads, I'll batch them all up as usual. But let's see what's going on with Twin Flames at the moment. Let's put that on so that we don't stress. It's stress-free or something like that, the oil this morning. Yes, there we go. Not stressed anymore. Kids love it. Decorations. So what's going on with Twin Flames? These cards are terrible to shuffle. They're all sticky. I mean, they feel beautiful, but they're very sticky, So I'm not so sure about the validity of the readings with them, but you never know. Look at these two. He's grown up. It's all grown up now. The Knight of Wands goes to the King of Wands. He's all grown up now. Knight of Wands can be a player kind of an energy, Wands can be, action, but also passion. And so the Knight of Wands can be someone that just kind of comes forward with passion. So that's why he's often thought of as a player. Now, King of Wands, not so much. King of Wands is more one that claims what he wants, Entrepreneur kind of person. Sat there and claims what he wants. So he's the grown-up version of it. Now, this is interesting, isn't it? Because here we have the Divine Masculine, who's grown up. Or another way to put it is had to level up. Or another way to put it is had some kind of an awakening. Now, some of the divine masculines weren't the players anyway. What am I getting here? It's not that all the divine masculines were players and they've grown up out of that. It's not that. They could be, but maybe not. Even those that aren't players have tended to go along with the popular masculine culture of that player culture. So even if they weren't players, they might have been talking that talk, right? And that is also something that's grown out of as well, is what I'm getting here. So someone could have been coming across or wanted to portray themselves as perhaps more masculine. No, not masculine. Perhaps more edgy than they actually are. And so this is depicting a kind of a growing up of the divine masculine here. And it could be because the divine feminine has entered his life. That could have been a trigger. And it could have, especially for those that I'm picking up, sometimes it was just talk. They weren't actually like that. It might have been really traditional on the inside, but with the mates and stuff like that, we'll talk the talk, or on social media or whatever, we'll talk the talk. And it's not necessarily true about them. And they might have realized how it comes across to the divine feminine. Like they didn't care. They thought they were impressing everyone. And then suddenly they're like, ooh, I don't want the divine feminine reading that stuff or seeing me like that. I don't want to do that anymore because that's not me. Suddenly they're realizing, I can't do that because she's not going to want me. So that's for some. As I said, there's all different levels of this, but there's some kind of a leveling up that the divine masculine has done. Hi, Crystal. You're at a friend's 50th. Potluck pig rice. Live band bomb. Oh, sounds good. Got home at 3 a.m. I got home at 4 a.m. because I think we probably left the club at 3 a.m. but then we all went for something to eat, which was my treat. It was really good fun. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. That does sound good. Okay, what else have we got? You see, I'm expecting the Hierophant to come out now, which is like his true nature. No. 7 of Pentacles. Busy working. Busy working. So he's had this change of mind about himself and how he portrays himself, and he wants to impress. So he's busy working. He's putting effort into that. He's putting effort into leveling up and becoming the person that he knows he needs to be to impress the Empress. Impress the Empress. Good morning, Belle. Whereabouts in Australia are you? That's what he's doing. He's making an effort, and it is for the Empress, but probably not directly toward the Empress at the moment, the divine feminine. Seems to be quite happy with his work, doesn't he? Planted those pentacles. He's got his rake there. He's pretty happy with what he's doing at the moment. So this might be a rite of passage for himself to make him feel better about, well, as I said, not necessarily about what he was doing before, but how he was portraying himself. I had this kind of a vision of someone suddenly realizing how they were coming across to people, and perhaps a little embarrassed. Cairns. I used to live up near there. I lived in Port Douglas for a while before I left, but I used to, a long time ago, used to live out in Beulah way. King of Swords. See, look how serious he's got now. Oh, I'm liking these kings coming out because it's headed toward Emperor, right? He's got to collect his kings together to be Emperor. King of Swords, serious, totally serious. wants to be truthful, swords up in the air, thinking things through, really thinking things through. It's that, I remember when I was a kid, well, I wasn't really a kid, I was I'll say a teenager. No, I wasn't, I was 11, because I remember I first started my periods when I was 11. And I remembered this particular day because I was still a baby. Yeah, I'd started my periods, but I wasn't a woman. I wasn't even a teenager. I was still a baby. I was still whining and stuff like that. And I just remember sitting in front of the fire and I was doing something. And I had a bit of a tantrum or something like that. I was on my period too, so that probably didn't help. But I was whining, and I suddenly realised, I caught myself, and I thought, I'm talking like a baby, and I'm not a baby anymore. And I stopped. That was the point of realisation where I kind of saw myself from outside of myself and thought, what are you doing? You're not a baby. I stopped doing it. And that's what I'm getting from this divine masculine as well, is like suddenly seeing himself from someone else's perspective, someone that he cares about. Suddenly he's seen himself from divine feminine's perspective, and it's like, oh shit, that's not how I mean to be coming across. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not that. And so here he is, kinging it up, doing the work to king it up, getting serious. So if your divine masculine has got like, seems to have gone like from a fun person to a serious person, that's what's going on. He's got a little embarrassed about the way that he was projecting himself, or portraying himself to the world. And it was all fun and games until the divine feminine came along, and then it's like, oh shit, now I'm embarrassed because I'm not that person at all. What really, Belle? Is this that story? Maybe this one's for you. Maybe it's for all of us. I don't know. So, significant change. I love this deck. Isn't it gorgeous? The artwork on this is amazing. Maybe I should keep it out for a while. What else? Well, I'll keep it out all month, hey? What day are we? 10th. The world. So there's the change. An end of a chapter. So this card, well, it's got all kinds of things on this, but it's there's a young man there, and then there's a duck. But it depicts the same thing, right? The young one and then the old one. The young calf to a bull, and like a young female to an older female. End of a cycle, start of a new cycle for him. Start of a new chapter for him. The Hermit. And pulling away as a result. Or is this the divine feminine? This might be the divine feminine, in fact. She's perhaps been doing that for a while. She's taking notice. Like, oh, what you doing? Yeah, so maybe the divine feminine has been through this up-leveling already. She's kind of keeping to herself, and she's like not that impressed by the boyish ways that she's seen. He's noticed that. He's making a change now, and she might be noticing from her hermit position, keeping to herself, doing her own thing. What else? Is this the divine feminine? Or is this all about divine masculine? Could it all be about divine masculine today? No, Queen of Wands. It is the divine feminine, I thought so. Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Cups. I love it when two queens come out together as well. We've got two kings and two queens now. Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. Interesting, in the energy update today, it was the Queen of Cups with the Queen of Swords. Meaning that balance between empowerment, boundaries, and opening your heart. This is a mixture of a go-get kind of thing, kind of a masculine energy, more of a masculine energy, the Wands energy, could be seen that way, and open and receptive. So she's not completely open and receptive to him yet, is what this is saying. She's holding her energy back like the hermit, and a little bit receptive, but also a little bit I'm making my own stuff happen kind of thing, not relying on anyone else. There's kind of an independent energy that I'm getting from this. I think she's opening up a little bit. I think she's opening up, and perhaps as she's seeing him grow up with this work that he's put in him, she's opening up a crack, but she's still the hermit energy. I need more shelves now. I'll get rid of a deck. I don't want to get rid of this deck though because I love it so much. Anyway, self-realization. Okay, well, let's get into the Book of Shadows Tarot then to tell us more about this process. Okay, tell us more. Tell us more. Let's do it that way around. Starting out with the Mother of Earth. Now we're on Divine Feminine. Mother of Earth. Oh, we opened at the right page. Rich harvest. So she is reaping the rewards of the work that she's been putting in her own life. Crown of fire. And that's the mother. And then the crone. She blows out the flame. There's a time and a season for everything. She's here to usher in an ending, a dying of the fire. So she's croning, and she's less likely to act on passion anymore. She's got a lot to lose. She's grown up too. That's what it is. She's grown up too. And I especially like this because the Ten of Fire is the Ten of Wands. So she's put down the burdens that she had before. She's no longer willing to take on burdens like she was before. So codependent no more. She's not going to save him. She's not going to do it for him. And she's certainly not going to share her stuff as well, this rich harvest that she's got, with just anyone if they're not coming in being reciprocal. So she's put a lot of burdens down. Divine Feminine. She's really grown up too. Crown of Fire. She's no longer acting on impulse, no longer acting just on attraction by itself. She doesn't do that anymore. She used to do that. Act on attraction just by itself, make it out to be more than it was in her head, and like assume compatibility, reciprocation, all that kind of thing. Just assume those things and then get disappointed when they didn't turn out. She's not doing that stuff anymore. She's put all those burdens down. Now, that's what I'm getting from it. But, of course, this deck is just completely different than anything else. So, it says stars. Okay. The sun element of fate associated with stars, as if our futures are all written out across the skies, but it's not quite right. The stars are more like a dealer in a game of poker. We're given a hand of cards and we can play that hand however we like. It's an odd juxtaposition. The role of fate simply serves to highlight the necessity of choosing how to respond. It demands us to engage our free will. So that's pretty good, isn't it? The way it explains it as like a game of poker. So fate's involved, like the dealer, because it does matter what hand you're given, doesn't it? But it's also how you play it too. Ten of Fire indicates that the events in question cannot be changed, and there's a role that must be fulfilled or an action that must be taken. Oh, so Divine Feminine couldn't have brought this Divine Masculine in until she got that lesson. That's why the guides were going on and on and on about codependency for that many years. saying you really got to stop doing this because like you really can't have divine masculine until you do. Then she does that enough to bring in the divine masculine. Then he has his leveling up to do, his role that must be fulfilled. He's got to get into divine masculine mode. And so he's suddenly had this realization of looking at himself from her eyes like, oh, I'm not very impressive. And I want to impress this divine masculine. So how he was before was impressing the muggles. But he knows it's not good enough for divine feminine. Who's that? Thank you, Audra. Or is that from an order? I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, let's get some more cards out. Tell us more. So that's why the divine feminine's ahead of the divine masculine then. They both had to level up. She did it first and then went into hermit mode, waiting for what she realized she deserved then. Divine masculine's come in. She's like, I'm not sure if that's it or not, because it's not kind of exactly it. And he's realized, I'm not exactly it. Then we've got the Six of Earth. Reciprocation, you see? That's what I was saying, reciprocation. She knows. She's no longer willing to do it anymore. She used to take those burdens on before, and she's like, there's no way she'd do it again. It's got to be reciprocation. Six of Earth. Oh, this time it's acting like proper tarot. But let's read it out of this as well, because there'll be an extra element to it, I'm sure. Six of Earth is the trees in the forest. It represents moving from one place to another. This is something that helps you transition from one state to another state. It provides a touchstone that you can always return to when needed. It's a safe place that protects and also prepares you for what's to come. Flux and getting ready for reciprocation. What about divine masculine then? Chickens in the house. About to make an appearance. There we go. She likes that corner of the bed. She doesn't like the rain. She's spending a lot more time with me. She was grumpy yesterday. Yeah, rain makes her grumpy. She was a bit at me every time I went out to training in the morning. She didn't want to leave her corner of the bed. I'm like, chicken, you've got to go out. She's like, She's whining. She's not a happy kitty at the moment. The Nine of Earth. This is the one where you're happy with your own stuff, happy in your field, you know. It is the single, independent, happy with what I've got card. Time of satisfaction and satiation. There's enough of everything and it's all very enjoyable. Like a perfect summer evening or sunny spring afternoon, all is just right. The wisest thing to do is nothing, okay? The wisest thing to do is nothing. So, divine feminine, she's got herself ready. She's learned her lessons. She's waiting for the reciprocation. Wisest thing to do is nothing. Divine feminines. I'm not going to get anything about divine masculine from this deck. So if you thought about making a move, making contact or something like that, this is a no to that. Six of doing things by the book. There's chicken cat. Me at my desk, chicken cat, corner of the bed. 6 yeah, it's about animals, companions, chicken cats. Deepening our connection with our animal helpers. Well, the wisdom that chicken cat has got at the moment is rainy season sucks. And it does. Oh, I got ready to go training in the morning yesterday at the other gym. I haven't been there for a couple of weeks, and it started raining like 5 minutes before it was time to go. And so I got wet on the way there, and then it was pouring down when it was time to leave there. And it just rained all day. It's horrid. Just can't do anything when it's like that. Anyway, animal guides. I don't know. Anyway, Six of Swords. It's about movement. It's about movement forward. There is progression here, but you might not see it because it's very subtle. It's like the subtleties of the progression that you've had, Divine Feminines, when you were getting through your codependency. There's a hell of a lot going on. But then people on the outside are saying, what are you doing, all stagnant, Divine Feminine? And you're like, no, I've got a lot going on. I'm like, I don't see any change. It's like, yeah, but there's massive change inside of me. You don't see what I'm willing to say no to now. I've changed completely. Likewise, my masculine going through a lot at the moment. It might not be apparent, but there is movement forward. It's just under the surface. It seems to be headed toward a sudden reveal. When the Divine Masculine is ready, I think it's going to be a sudden reveal, a sudden communication, that kind of thing. Oh, here we go. Bit of excitement. We've got a god here. 4 of Fire. Is this Jupiter? No, it's Mars. Oh, the fighter. Divine Masculine, Mars. Mars is a warrior, known for bravery and action. King of Wands. This god may very well be the most literal representation of fire in this suit, for his move to swift action by fiery passion. King of Wands. Swift action. Just as I was saying, it feels like there's going to be a sudden reveal. Astrologically, Mars shows energy, courage, confidence, and strength. This is the energy that helps us stand up for ourselves, to follow adventure and be spontaneous. Mars's power comes from the fire that burns in our gut. It's both formidable and dangerous, moving from defensive protection to aggressive attack with surprising ease. If not controlled or channeled appropriately, this energy can lead to violence, accidents, or cruelty. The 4 of Fire shows the desire. You know how last week we got that the Divine Masculine's behavior might not be exemplary at the moment, and he might not want Divine Feminine to see that. It's that. The 4 of Fire shows the desire for action. The situation is fraught with energy that's powerful and fast-moving. There's the need for courage, confidence, and possibly defensiveness. Woo! So he's fully getting into that King of Wands energy, ready to take a swift action, make a swift move. Yes. It'd be nicer if she was happy. But she's happy when it's sunny, and that's when she wants to be outside all the time with the tourists, getting pets and extra food. She's greedy. A little bit sick the other day as well. She was dribbling all over my floor, and so I threw her out. And go and vomit out there, not in here. I'll teach her to eat what the tourists give her. The Ace of Air. Look at this, the impact that the Divine Feminine is having on the Divine Masculine here. She's got more control. Divine Feminines have got more control than you think over this Divine Masculine. You might not be able to manipulate him like a puppet on a string. You might not be able to get what it is that you want out of him, but you've got a lot of control with your energy over this one. More than you realize. He's doing more. The Divine Masculine is doing more than you realize for the Divine Feminine. This work. It's for her, but it's not direct at the moment. It's not directly, it's not, she won't be noticing. Getting that, just won't be noticing it at the moment. So the Ace of Air is about dreams. That just reminds me, I was half watching, mostly listening to Andrew Huberman's latest video. Does anyone follow him? It's really good. And scientific explanations of health stuff. And he was talking about pot, marijuana, in great detail. Like, it was so cool because I'd never, like, so much information about it. It's well worth a listen for anybody, especially those in the countries where it's legalized now, where there's a lot of marketing being done, because we know that this is a problem, right? Marketing is a problem because marketers, what they do is they push the positive benefits of it without revealing the harms of it, and there are quite a few harms of it. And it just explains different people and different reactions to it, and in different age groups and all of that stuff. It's just so interesting, all of that information. And he did mention the types like me that cannot have any of it, and it's just any of it, we cannot have it. It's just, I don't know what percentage of us are like that, but we cannot have it. But that was nice to know as well, that it was saying, yeah, if you have that reaction to it, have that reaction to all of it. You can't use any of it, and that's me. He was calling it like extreme panic attacks. I don't experience it like an extreme panic attack, or maybe it is, and it's just so swift. It just takes me down. I stop breathing. I shut down. Scary. Anyway. Andrew Huberman. He was also speaking about his strong concerns about how it's being promoted so much now because of the legalization and stuff in many places, like it is here, without the scientific, the information that we do know about it, that the contraindications of it, because it has been done, and it is really dangerous for pregnant women. For the developing brain, it's really dangerous until you're about 25, in fact. But especially for babies. So you're saying, like, it's shortly after conception that our cannabinoid receptors in the brain are there already, and you fry them like you put way too much of it in if you're taking cannabis, which is why people get depressed and stuff. Anyway, I find it so interesting. Anyway, back to this. Dreams. The Ace of Air represents direct divine guidance. The universe wishes to provide information, to give it freely as a gift. However, we must be receptive and cultivate a quiet mind. That was my dream. Oh my God. We must be receptive and cultivate a quiet mind, or the gift is lost to us. Settle down, quit striving, and just receive. Now, what I'm getting from this is both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are in the heads at the moment, and they're overthinking things. And in order to receive that divine guidance, they need to have quieted the mind. I had a dream last night. I had a dream that my Divine Masculine came here, but it was still very much in the drama and the stuff like that. And I was trying to bring him out of his head. And I said, you've left, but you're still not here yet. You haven't left in your head. You're still talking about it. I'm like, come out of your head and into your body right now. There's no one here from your past. We're here by ourselves. And then when he managed to do that, I said to him, it's not my responsibility to manage you like this. Your emotional state and your mind state is your own responsibility. And I'm happy to help out once in a while, but you need to take responsibility of that because I'm not here to save you from that. And I explained to him how I'd been in relationships before where I had to manage the man's emotional state because he wasn't doing that kind of thing. He wasn't realizing when he was in his head and getting himself into the moment and all of that. Yeah, and that was my dream. So being really clear with him. I'm happy to help out here to show you, oh, you're in your head. But that's not my responsibility. I'm not going to continue doing it for you. Dreamer. But goes for both. This goes for both divine masculine and divine feminine. Both in our heads too much because of this situation, overthinking it, and that causing problems with us getting our guidance. Problems speaking. The Ace of Pentacles does want to show itself. It was on the bottom of that deck, and it just kind of came out. But I only have space for one more card. Long term, seed planted, growing to something big. The Maiden of Fire. She's nurturing that passion, I think. Is that what the Maiden of Fire does? Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. We had Two of Cups on the bottom of that other deck as well. The Love, the Maiden of Fire. What's up with my voice? Same as usual. Maiden of Fire. She lights a single candle. She gives as a gift the first spark of inspiration. As I said, I think this is, again, Divine Feminine needs to lead the way with regards to getting out of her head about all of this stuff now. She wants the Divine Masculine to stop being in his head about it and not taking action and being that Mars energy, that action energy, that courageous action energy. She needs to stop being in her head as well. He's only going to get fired up to do that once he has got his mind cleared. He's not going to get his mind cleared while the Divine Feminine has got a clear mind as well. So Divine Feminine's got to stop thinking about all of this stuff and being in your head about it. And just like I said in my dream, he was here, but he wasn't. He was in his head, still in the past, still with all that drama of his family and all of that stuff. And I'm like, but they're not here right now. You've left, but you've not left. You're still not here yet. You've not arrived. You're still in your head. You're still in that old stuff, right? So how's the Divine Feminine doing that? Divine Feminine at the moment is doing that by not being present where she's at. He's not here. He's not here right now. Only he is in her head. And you've got to stop doing that. You need to bring yourself into the present moment. Does that make sense? Be in the present moment. Divine Feminines lead the way. Maiden of Fire. She's got to be the... It's not even an example. It's an energetic thing. He's not noticing. It's not like, oh, she's not in her head anymore. I'm not going to be in my head anymore. It's not that. He feels it energetically. Both connected. Let's do a mini. Audra. Anyone else want a mini read? Audra's got one. Audra said, should you move on? Should Audra move on? Yes, says the crystal. Let's find out why. Thanks for your donation, Audra. Can't speak. Why should Audra move on? To get what you want. Okay, so because lack of reciprocation, that's why. Too much work being put in and not reciprocation coming back. It's not reciprocal. This is that kind of situation where you don't want to give up on something because you put so much work into it. But you should give up on it because it's not being reciprocal. It's not like suddenly going to right itself and then karma comes about and says, oh, we didn't notice. Audrey's been putting a lot of work in that. She deserves so much back. Let's right that. It's like pouring a liquid down a drain and going, I can't stop pouring the liquid down the drain because eventually if I carry on, all of this liquid is going to come back to me, but much better. And it's like, no, it's not. You're pouring it down a drain. It's a drain. It's a drain. A drain is a drain. So the work that you're putting in isn't paying off. Comes a point where you need to realize that my energy is going into the wrong thing. It's going down a drain. You can have what you want, but you need to put your energy elsewhere. You know, it's that whole like working smart kind of thing. But I don't think we're talking about work here. I think it's the work that you're putting into something else. Believe in yourself. Be alone for a while. You deserve more and you can have more and more will come along. And you'll recognize it when it is more and it's not going to be a drain. You got this. Move on. You got this. You can do this. This is like your Queen of Swords moment. It's an important moment to get to where you realize you're barking up the wrong tree, or what are you doing? Is that when you realize you're barking up the wrong tree, or that you banging your head against a wall? That what you're doing isn't getting the results that you want, and it's time to walk away. You know that anyway, because that's why you asked, right? So do it. You got this. Deborah, question from you? Drink coffee while I'm waiting for your question. Anyone else want a mini read? Yes. Has he gained the clarity that he intends to approach me at? Please, Claire. Has he gained the clarity that he intends to approach me? So you're asking, does he know that he intends to approach you? No. Still undecided. He's not clear on it yet. I think there's a few that are like that. I think that's why there's a lot of silence going on. Because I'm like, well, why doesn't he just respond to me? Well, like, why is he still not talking about it? He's obviously making these moves because I can see a few things going on, but like, why doesn't he want to talk about it? That makes no sense. The reason that they don't want to talk about it is they're still not sure that they're going to be courageous enough. Sorry, makes me snort. Encouragement and sex. So the passion is the thing that is driving him forward, keeping him in the game. It's not decided yet. Yours isn't decided yet. But yeah, they got the draw. He's got that draw. No, he hasn't got the clarity yet. He's resigning himself to it, though. He is resigning himself to the fact that he's kind of got no other choice. So, very much in resistance at the moment, yours is. Not got that clarity yet. He's resigning himself to the fact that he has to. Still very much seeing it as a passion thing, a sex thing. That's the drive, I mean. Which makes sense, doesn't it? We've got the Knight of Wands, we've got the King of Wands, Wands energy, Mars energy. It's that fiery passion. That is, it's like the universe goes, I know what we can do. We can use the hormones. We can use the hormones to speed them up. That kind of thing. Perhaps they did the opposite with Divine Feminine. Use the hormones to slow us down, because that coronavirus is that, right? She puts out the fire. This is it. I was almost going to say, this is the card of menopause. The fire gets put out and she comes to her senses. Whereas it's the other way around with the divine masculine. It's getting there. Hang on in there. Thanks for your donation as well, Deborah. Okay, let's get back to the cards. Anyone else wants a mini read? Just get your donations in. We'll do another batch. Tarot of Miserable Ladies. Oh, the So Below deck. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh. Okay. Two of Cups all over the place. I'm telling you. It's not. Is it on the bottom of here still? No, that's the Ace of Pentacles that I was saying. That keeps on showing itself. And the Two of Cups as well was on the bottom of this deck before. It's on the bottom of that deck. It's just come out here. The love offer. Oh, so the love offer. I mean, this is big. This is big relationship. We all know that, don't we? As much as sometimes we try and get away from it, move away from it, walk away from it, let it go, move on to someone else. This is too much bother. It's impossible. We get pulled back to it. They get pulled back to it. We're like magnets. So this is big. And then that comes out with the Knight of Swords, which is that very fast moving, like clarity. Like I was getting, it's going to be sudden when this happens. I'm sure of it. Let's read them out. Two of Cups. These two souls recognize a connection and a space between them. The space between them fairly radiates with positive energy. Like attracts like. And so this draws the possibility of love or other deep relationship. It's a deep emotional connection or attraction. To me, the Two of Cups is very much that, the offer though. The coming together, the offer. So it's out with the Knight of Swords, which is using the mind and language. It's the offer. It's the getting clear on what he wants to say. It's the masculineness. Getting clear on what he wants to say. It feels to me like he's been getting prepared for a reveal of his emotions. And he's rehearsed it over and over and it changes. It's like 1 month it'll be a certain speech, the next month it'll be another one. And he's getting clearer and clearer on what it is he's feeling and what it is that he wants to say and what it is that he wants to offer. And how to do it as well. There's an element here that is glad it didn't happen when he wanted it to happen. You know, when you practice something and then in the moment you don't say it and you're like, damn, I didn't say it. He's been through all of that. But each progression, as he realizes more of his feelings and he realizes, and it changes what he's going to say, he's glad that he didn't say it last month. He's glad that he didn't say it the month before. Each time he delays it and he gets more clarity on what he wants to say and what he wants to offer, he's glad that he held out. The Six of Chalices. To me, the Six of Chalices, yeah, is the card of reminiscing and making new memories, and it's also the card of twin flames and soulmates to me as well. past life connections, you know. What is it in this deck? These people are totally in the moment. They're not aware of it yet, but they're creating a memory, a snapshot of their hearts. Look back on this time and reminisce about it being a good thing. It'll bring them happiness and perhaps even comfort in the future. So this time, right now, this that we're going through, we're going to reminisce on it as being a good time. Crazy or something. We're all crazy or something. Probably because there's so much up-leveling at the moment, because we've both grown up so much. And I think we'll recognize it as the rite of passage in both of us of what needed to happen. There's something in the wait, and we've been told that over and over again for a long time now. There's something in this wait that we'll be glad of. High Priestess. Deep down, she knows it. Look at the moon. The Tower of Miserable Ladies. Deep down, she knows it. The High Priestess. She's the keeper of dark, mysterious knowledge. Because what she gives cannot be taught or explained logically. Sometimes seems scary. It's not that it's scary, is it? It's the whole High Priestess. It's like deep down I know it. But then when there's no evidence of it on the surface, I feel like I'm being an idiot. Because everything that we've learned up until now, you know, what our moms told us and all of that kind of stuff, that logical kind of side of us is saying, you're making this up. What are you doing? There's no way around it. It must be experienced to be known. Muster up some trust. Take a hand and dive in. There's a deep and certain knowledge about this on both parts. This is not just Divine Feminine. Both of them know this. But both, every now and then, just get confronted with the logical self and go, what the hell am I doing? I'm making this shit up. Divine Masculine is going through that as well. He's got this deep inner knowing and he's putting all of this work in, and then it's like, but I don't know that she's not going to laugh in my face and say, hell no, you're a player kind of thing. He's worried that that's going to happen. He's worried about the past and the way that he has portrayed himself in the past, and that being a reason for her to refuse him. So both are going between this deep inner knowing and then like, what the hell am I doing kind of thing. I'm making it all up. Gotta get out of our heads, remember. The Hermit. She is again. Along with the Empress. So Divine Feminine, hermiting, spending time by herself, being on her own path. The Hermit knows she must sometimes put herself first, often, right? Downtime has to be a priority. Without it, she cannot recharge her soul. As she continues to grow and change, she must continually reassess her beliefs. Retreating from distractions to touch base with her own heart is not a once-in-a-lifetime event, but a regular date with herself. So retreating from distractions to determine your own truth. That's what Divine Feminine is doing at the moment. And the Empress. She expresses herself beautifully in the physical world. She helps things grow by making them comfortable, by feeding them what they need to become strong, and by healing injuries. She loves and comforts and blesses all that come within her realm. She's doing it for herself at the moment. Abundance, nurturing, and creation. So the self-love This is like a self-love thing going on for the divine feminine at the moment, and a need to get out of her head and to retreat and be on her own path and put herself first. And she's leading the way. It helps him get out of his head too. He follows that. He will. So we've got a bit of analysis paralysis kind of a thing going on at the moment with the divine, well, with both. And divine feminine, you've got more power than you think. 5 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Both teachy kind of cards. Changing the energy as well, changing our energy. 5 of Wands being the putting things into practice, and the 7 of Wands being the protecting that. But in this deck, it says something like, well, I'll read it. The 5 of Wands, both cards are teaching. Working together can lead to fabulous results, as evidenced in the 4 of Wands. However, getting to the result may be fraught with conflict and trouble, particularly when people feel strongly about something. Oh, it's teamwork. Okay. Yeah, particularly when people feel strong about something. Egos and expectations get in the way of the easy flow of communally generated energy. You don't realize it, but you're already together. And you're already working as a team. And if you change your mind to that and realize, oh, we're already together and we're already working as a team. Yes, I have got more power over the divine masculine. I'm not waiting for him to actually physically show up. We're already together. And if I get out of my head and if I do my own thing and if I'm sorting my energetic state out, my teammate comes easier on my teammate too, right? And then the 7. Even if we're not feeling perfectly confident inside, we can, like this woman, draw on the energy of the universe to help bolster us up a bit. So it's that divine connection. Remember what it said, if we're all up in our heads, we don't get that divine connection. We don't get the guidance. I had my hair done, by the way. I had a lot cut off it because of COVID hair fallout. I've got 2 different lengths of hair. So it's still 2 different lengths of hair, but it's almost there now. Anyway, 7 of Wands. Even if we're not feeling perfectly confident inside, we can, like this woman, draw on the energy of the universe to help bolster us up a bit. So we need that divine connection. So divine feminines, at the moment, you are a teammate with you're already together. And there's a need to get out of your mind about this and get connected. So doing that retreat kind of thing, meditation, any self-care practices that get you out of your head about this. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps not watching as many readings about it. That could get, like for some of you, I'm picking up that gets you in your mind too much about what's going on. It's watching too many readings. There's a need to take a break from that, distract yourself from it, so that you're not all up in your head about this stuff. So that you can get better connection with your inner self, with your higher self, with the universe. The universe has unlimited energy, so all we need to do is hold tight to our courage and ask for that boost to get us through. So that's a courageous thing to do, right? Is believing in it. And what we got here in the divine masculine is having to muster up the courage to make a move. Let's get one more card because there's a little bit of space on the table left. So why not? What is getting you in your heads at the moment about this? What is making you overthink these connections, overthink about the divine masculine and this whole thing? What is the trigger for you that gets you all in your head about it? It's the stuff that we need to stop doing. Tell us in the comments. because it might help all of us to go, oh yeah, that gets me in my head about it too. I need to stop doing that. Next up, we've got the Emperor, Divine Masculine. Now we've got the Empress and the Emperor. Either side of these two cards, the 5 and the 7 of Wands. So both doing it. Both doing it. Both in the heads. Both needing to get connected. Both needing to believe more. Both needing to realize that impacting each other's energies. Do you think that the Divine Feminine needs to do it first, though? Because she's the one that's been doing it longest. That's the only reason. The Emperor is the one that everyone wants to be in charge. So Divine Feminines are like, yeah, he needs to come forward. No matter if the group is planning a party. Right, so hang on. The Emperor needs to be logically, physically in charge. The Empress is in charge of the energy. How about that? No matter if the group is planning a party, fundraiser, a political event, the right leader makes all the difference. The Emperor will organize and delegate, making sure the resources and skills are employed in the most efficient possible way. Creating order, stability, planning, organizing for the greater good. So, yeah, Divine Feminine wants the Divine Masculine to make the move for sure. But Divine Feminine is in the driving seat for the energy. That's the teamwork. And it's hard for the Divine Masculine to take the lead in the physical stuff without that clarity when it's all up in his head about it. Can't do it. So, teamwork. Divine Feminine needs to get out of her mind about it, clear the way. Make sense? You're all falling asleep. No one's told me what gets you in your head about all of this stuff. Is it watching readings? When are you all up in your head about this connection? Is it before you go to sleep? Is that when you're thinking about it a lot? Let's do some Starchild Tarot. What car did Jesus drive? A Chrysler. Chrysler. Your Toyotas here. All Toyotas. I don't think I've seen another kind of car. Oh no, I did. I saw a Porsche. My next door vacuums like 10 times a day. Why would anyone do that? Anyway. Maybe he's got a bit of OCD. Oh, he's really messy. Why is everyone silent? You're freaking me out. John's joke wasn't that bad. Here we go. The Chariot and the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Painful ending. The end of the pain. The painful ending. The end of the pain. Let's read it out of this book because I love this book. The Chariot is number 8. You overthink everything all the time. It's not number 8 at all. It's number 7. Chariot. Chariot represents your inner strength, confidence, and self-determination. The appearance of this card may also signify a transition into a new phase of life, yes, with bright and hopeful opportunities ahead, yes. If you feel as though self-doubt may have a tendency to sneak up on you, know that you have the absolute power to overcome any challenges along the way. It's important to stay grounded and remain focused on your goals, but to also acknowledge your accomplishments and personal victories, past, present, and future. Considering all sides gives you the strength to make positive decisions. Considering all sides gives you the strength to make positive decisions and set your intentions clearly. Remember to weigh the pros and cons as you journey forward and let your heart guide you with any big decisions you may need to make. It will always tell you the truth. Oh, someone's making a big decision here in this ending. And Ten of Swords, yeah, that's what we want. We want this ending. It's like, come on, the end of the pain. I don't know about you guys, but it's getting really painful for me. The whole waiting, it's getting really painful. I find it easier when I'm not around him, and now I'm around him, and anyway. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is known to show up during difficult life challenges, which are often traumatic, disastrous, or unexpected. This may also be an indication of lying or deceit from someone else, with the hurtful outcome of feeling betrayed. Know that despite the hardships, a new phase or beginning will transpire. Both of these cards are saying the same thing, that there's really good things ahead, but there's this ending, a painful ending to go through first. From processing and releasing this phase of your life, the world, Divine Masculine is going through it. You will learn to move forward with illumination and strength. It's like he's got some ahas to have first. Maybe that dream that I had was significant, you know? Him arriving here but not being out of his head yet. It's like, I don't want him like that, you know what I mean? I want him to have released the stuff, not come with that baggage. I don't want to sort it out. Like, I know that I won't now. Like, I'll help him a bit, but then I'll put it firmly and square back in his court. That's your stuff. I'm not managing you. But perhaps that's where the what the masculine is doing at the moment, you know. Trying to get out of his head. Wants it to be a positive, happy start. Putting everything in perspective. Transformation of negative experiences. So he's trying to pull himself out of that negative there and have this painful ending and leave it in the past. They are beautiful cards, eh? Tower of Miserable Ladies, not so much. That's it. I kind of am a therapist, but I'm not doing it in my personal life anymore. No. And last night I was thinking about my ex as well, the addict, and just how exhausting all of that is. It's like, what, like when I was thinking about everything that I used to have to deal with that, it's exhausting being with an addict. Oh my God, no. Can't do it. I don't do it anymore. Here's the High Priestess again. Like this. She's got a crystal ball in her hand like that. A purple table. And my nails match it too. This is me. This is me in a card right now. Cool. High Priestess. Inner knowing. There's Chicken Cat, looking more like a tiger. Chicken, you're a tiger in a past life. That reminds me, I haven't responded to Nikki. Nikki, if you're watching the replay, I read your message, I haven't responded to it. I didn't have time. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is a bearer of magic, spiritual teachings, and inner knowledge. She has a deep understanding of the higher realms of consciousness and acknowledges the universal balance of light and dark energy. This card indicates an awakened spiritual or psychic awareness and encourages you to make time for introspection and meditation. Get connected, Divine Feminines. It's also advised that you listen to your intuition and dreams. Dreams again. Anyone else having those dreams like that? Prophetic dreams. I don't think it's a prophetic dream. I think it's like this is how he would come in. This is how he would come in if he came in right now. I think that was my dream last night. I don't think it's a prophetic dream. I don't think it's like when he does finally come in. I think it was showing why he's not coming in right now. Rather than, oh, he's going to come in like that, all broken and not present. Better not. So advise that you listen to your intuition in your dreams and reflect on the feelings and visions you experience each day. It's the understanding of your highest purpose and potential through attaining a balance between your physical and spiritual self. Oh. You alone have the power to raise your vibration in order to access the higher realms of sacred knowledge. Raise your vibration, ladies. It's going to help him get the clarity. Yeah, I'm tired of managing other people. It's just exhausting. But people really need to take responsibility for themselves. Thanks, Laura. You know, yeah. I talked about it in the energy update today about people being triggered, and it's not the responsibility of the rest of the world to be sensitive to your sensitivities, sensibilities. Seems to be a big contest at the moment of political correctness and like who can be the biggest victim. And all of that stuff. People just need to start managing themselves and healing themselves. It's not the responsibility of the rest of the world. And we can't get all like butt hurt and you know, take it personally just because someone doesn't have an awareness about something. Like I saw someone posted on Facebook. I saw it, I think probably this morning. And I was only on for like a second to just post the energy update for the day, but I saw it, and it was someone complaining. Why does everyone presume that if you're a wife that you've got a husband rather than a wife? And like someone really complaining about that. It's like, does it really matter? Like if someone else is aware, if that's not in someone else's awareness, like why is that personally bad for you? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I no longer take it personally if people don't believe in tarot and stuff like that. It's not personal to me. It's not personal to me at all. It doesn't matter what they believe to me. It matters what I believe, not what they believe. I can't go around going, oh, you don't believe in tarot? That really hurts me. Just like, you know, we just can't do that. We've got to heal ourselves and not be bothered about whether someone else thinks about whether it's a wife or a husband or whatever. Like, really? No. Turkey. Turkey. I had chicken yesterday. Not that chicken. She's moved away. She's moved so she's off camera. Sick of me talking about her. Well, the Knight of Wands came out. I hardly noticed it. Too busy talking about other stuff. There he is again, the Knight of Wands. It's probably what he feels like at the moment. Still like that. Still feels like a bit of a baby. Or like a bit of a player. Still kind of sees himself like that. Been pretending to be like that for so long. Turkey curry. Make turkey curry. Knight of Wands. After everything you've worked towards and experienced, your personal goals and ambitions have become crystal clear. You have the self-determination to make things happen. The courage and conviction to pursue your dreams with confidence and ease. Make sure to plan accordingly, or you may feel too rushed along the way. rushed. The Knight of Wands is an affectionate and disciplined individual. They're able to balance their emotions in order to take power and control of their lives. Yes, please, Divine Masculine, can you do that? That would be great. Thanks. But underneath the surface, they're highly sensitive. See, that's what I was getting. It's like this highly sensitive person that's pretended to be a player, to be macho or something, or to fit in. It's like he's remembered who he really is, and he's got to actually be that. This person does not forget harsh words easily and sometimes has trouble letting go of negative attachments. So he's in his head about the painful ending. The Knight of Wands is also very determined when it comes to getting things done. He's on it. He's headed there. The Chariot signs. He knows where he's headed. He knows he's going to do it. It's just taking forever. They have the vision and drive to reach their goals, but can sometimes be too hasty or impulsive due to their enthusiasm. But I think they're headed out of this energy, you know. Yeah. You do a hash the next morning. Num, num, num. Turkey curry. What are we going to have now? King of Wands? Or the Emperor would be nice. Or Ten of Cups would be nice, or something like that, wouldn't it? Could have the Two of Cups again. What is it? The Moon. The Moon. Feelings. Unknown. The Moon is a card of sensitivities, dreams, imagination, psychic powers. It may indicate a time of insecurity due to external influences or forces in your life. Who or what is holding you back from connecting with your higher self? So it's not who or what is holding you back from the life you really want. It's who or what is holding you back from connecting with your higher self. Clear-mindedness and all of that, you know. The Moon also addresses the deeper realms of the subconscious, the shadow thoughts and the feelings we experience as humans. It's important to acknowledge this side of yourself as a balancing contrast to your lighter or happier facets, but do not let it take over your mind completely. The Moon is also a card of illusion. Things are not necessarily as they're seen. It's therefore important to let go of any past traumas or influences that are distorting your perception. Oh, that's it too. So there's something that are going on at the moment that aren't what you're imagining them to be at all. You're imagining it to be a sign of past trauma, a sign that the same thing's happening again. And it's not. Distorting your perception. Remember, we create our experiences and realities from the vibrational qualities of our thoughts. The power of your mind is limitless. How can I work with the darker aspects of my thoughts and feelings in order to move forward? How can I work with my shadow self? How can I tune into my psychic abilities? What does shadow work to do here? Yeah, so we've got to deal with ourselves at the moment, especially Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine's doing it, but the Divine Feminine needs to take more of a responsibility. She's got energetic responsibilities here because you're already together. And so no more just continually like overthinking it and thinking, well, it's all just going to be all right once he shows up. Because this is saying he's not going to show up. It's not going to show up until you can energetically lead the way. Clear your mind. Do the things that you want him to do, is what it's saying. Be that already. The Hermit. So, focused on yourself, doing your own thing, following your own path. The Queen of Wands, taking action on things, right? Queen of Cups, being open and receptive. If you're that, If you focus on being that and being really clear, not overthinking things, it's really going to help the Divine Masculine at the moment. See it as teamwork. I think that's the important takeaway from this one this time, is you've got to see it as teamwork. Both up leveling, but also both having to manage our internal states, in the face of extreme painful endings, yeah, but new beginnings that are extremely important and that have an energetic intensity that provokes our sensitivities more than anything else ever has. And so this is tricky. And so we've got to put more work in than ever. But I think that message that you're already together and you're already working as a team on this is a good one. Don't you? Doesn't it make you feel more like you've got a hand in this, you've got some responsibilities, and there's something that you can take action on? Not just waiting. Anyone else want a mini read? Because I'm about to do it, Lara. Thanks for your donation, Lara. So, Lara. Did he understand what you told him today? Did he understand it? Yes. Tell us about this. Guidance and surrender, yeah. So now let it go. So yes, message delivered loud and clear, and now you need to let it go. So we can give the guidance. It's funny that came up in my personal reading for this week, is that I can give the guidance, but then I need to let it go, which I usually do anyway. So I don't know why it's come up. Perhaps I'm going to be helping someone out that is more of a personal thing this week. But you can give the guidance, right? So I've had to learn this. I used to do a reading, right? And then I'd continue emailing someone to find out if they didn't, how it worked out. Like, I was personally involved in it. Like, I needed to make sure that they were taking the guidance and doing what I do with the guidance. And it's like, of course, I can't do that. I can't get personally involved in the outcomes of it, or that they've taken it the way that I wanted them to take it and all of that. And so we can't do that. I've just got to put the guidance out there and then let it go, and like trust that you'll do with it what you will. And likewise, you've told him, let it go. Let him do with it what he does with it, rather than holding on and wanting to make sure that he does with it what you want him to do with it. Yeah. Say what you say, and then let them do what they do with it. So, communication will come back. You will get a response. Be with nature suggests that it might not happen too soon, but busy yourself by having a nice time in nature, or just doing what you love, distracting yourself, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, that surrender card is the most important here. You've said what you've said. Now, time to surrender. Surrender it, let it go, put it out there. There will be a response back in time. But yes, understood. Message understood. It's good. Anyone else want one? I'll pack up the cards while Yes. Deborah, what's your question? I will pack up the cards while I'm waiting for questions to come in. If anyone else wants a mini read, get your donation in fast. Do that for you. What do you reckon? Shall I keep the Dark Mansion Tarot? I think I will. I love these cards so much though, but I think I'll put them away. Have those out. I had a deodorant from, like a natural deodorant from Sephora. By, what's that company called? Kapari. This, excuse me, this is gorgeous. Body butter. Oh, so good. Got a deodorant from them. Terrible. I've thrown it away. It's terrible. Like, it's worse than wearing nothing. It stink after an hour. Not just that, but it stays wet on your armpits. So, like, I was getting it on my hair and doing my hair, and it just doesn't work. Like, it's worse than wearing nothing. It just doesn't work at all. I don't, even if I wear no deodorant, yeah, probably like by the afternoon I'll start smelling a little bit. This, like, within an hour you start smelling with it. It's just the worst ever. Threw it in the bin this morning because I had to order another one that actually works. Native, they work. Vanilla and coconut. Native. Oh my God. Find it hard not to dwell sometimes, yeah. Leave it be. Look, we've got the Ten of Cups. Anyway, Deborah, what would Spirit like you to know about your connection? Something not being said. Knowing and let go of the past. There's something that's not being said here, but you both know it. It's like one of those things where no one wants to speak about. I can't think of an example. Something in the past, perhaps, that hurt you both. No one wants to speak about it because you both feel bad about it. And something that you just want to leave in the past without confronting it, discussing it, or anything. But you both know. I wonder if it can be let go of. It's like you both know that you don't want to go there. Discuss something, admit to it, confront it, any of that stuff. Just need letting go of them. Perhaps both worried that it's going to be brought up at some point. Initiating a friend. Something about how did you get together? Was it through friendships or something like that? Could have something to do with a friend. It's like not wanting to talk about a certain ex because it's their friend or something like that. I don't understand what your higher self is trying to tell you here, though. You both know about it. Neither of you want to talk about it. It needs to be let go of. Well, give us some guidance then. Yeah, so you need to talk about it. You can't let go of it until you talk about it. Online dating. When you started talking, did you have like the usual conversations about all the other people that you've met on there? You know, when I did the online dating thing, I had a lot of conversations like that. And it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because, like, I remember with one guy that I really liked, it was weird to kind of think back to when we first started talking, and that he was talking about the women that he'd met off there and stuff like that, and it made it weird as our relationship deepened. It made it weird. It could be something like that, but yeah, it needs to be talked about. So there's something that you're both avoiding talking about because you both feel bad about it. Something about the start of things when you were still friends. I mean, right at the start. Something that needs to be let go of. Can you think what it is, Deborah? Do you need more clues? There wasn't any. Feels like or perhaps it's about exes then. Conversation that you had about exes or something like that, or something that you didn't say about exes. Don't want to go there. I can't catch what it is. Something about exes. The exes that could reach out to either of you again. I can't tell which it is. He ran with the first argument. Oh, it could be about that. Avoids confrontation, huh? I don't think it is that, though. I don't think it is that. I think this is about the possibility of an ex reaching out again, and that hasn't been talked about. I think on your part, if you have an ex that you know you have the time of day for, at least, perhaps not like feelings for in a way, but you'd still have the time of day for. So there's some exes, right, that would just be like, click delete straight away, not even responding to that kind of thing, not answering the phone, to them. And there's some that were like, yeah, I would. Still a friend. That's what it could be. Yeah, because they're my friend. Like, they're my ex, yes, but they're my friend now. That's what it is. And so both of you could have one of these, or one of you has got one of it, but you both might be, or the other one might be aware of this person, but it hasn't been talked about properly. That's what it is. There's an inner knowing. So if this is your ex that you still have the time of day for because you're still friends, there's something that you've said to him about it, and he clocked it. It's like there's still something there. And then you haven't talked about it. Or it's the other way around. Or perhaps both. So he's talked about an ex and you're like, hang on a minute. There seems to be something still there. But you haven't talked about it. Or perhaps you addressed it a little bit and said, no, we're just friends. But you both know there's still something there. Could cause a problem. You need to deal with it. You need to talk about it. There's the vacuumer. Doesn't make sense. I thought I got it this time. Yeah, it feels like an ex. Or is it a friend? Have you got a male friend that there's never been anything with? That doesn't feel like it's it, though. It does actually feel like an ex to me. There's something around that. There's something that you're both not talking about. You kind of don't want to go there. Now, you might not be aware of it, because it might not be the same thing. You might not have picked up on it. In other words, it's like, oh, that's what it reminds me of. I've got a friend here called Steve. I met him, it's like one of my first friends when I moved to this island. And the amount of people that have presumed that we're together over the years is ridiculous. Like, there's never been anything romantic between us at all. But the amount of people that think that there has been, or that there is incredible. And I don't get it. I don't get it because there's never been anything romantic. And yeah, we're good friends, but I don't know why people would assume that. To the point of they'll be like, yeah, right. When you say there's nothing. It could be something like that. But like if a partner said that to me, like what's going on with him, it'd be like nothing. There never has been. There never will be. It's not like that at all. Could be something like that. Perhaps it'll come up for you. Perhaps he'll mention something about that. It's a mystery. That's a mystery reading for you. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming along. I will be making a pick a card read. I'm not ahead at the moment, so I don't know what I'm doing today. What am I doing today? Let's see. I will be publishing it later on today, so check out my YouTube channel for that, which is... Oh. Hey, I might do a surprise. I might do like what surprise is coming. It's how they feel about you is due up next, but I might do what surprise is coming for you. I might do a pick a card read on that. Anyway, check that out on my YouTube channel later. Thanks for everyone for coming along, and let's do this all over again on Wednesday. I will be here on Wednesday. So have a good one, everybody. Thanks for your donations and your presents. And oh yeah, Fiona, you just got in time. Yes, do your donation. I'll stick around for a while. In fact, do that, and I just need to go and pee. I'll be right back. There we go, I'm back. Whew. It was a big pee too. Fiona. Oh, still not. Maybe we can do it next time then. I'll wait a short while. Start packing these things up. So yeah, get your donation in, and I'll stick around for a little bit longer to do that. And I'll just get ready for... Okay, no worries, Fiona. Dark Mansion Tarot. That box away. No, where's that box? These can go away for a while. Tarot of Mystical Moments. Oh, Light Seers. Maybe I can keep those out. Maybe I should put these away for a while. Ooh, let's get another tarot deck. Look, there's the Two of Cups again. It's everywhere. Tarot. Who shall we use? Tarot. Could use a Starchild tarot. Got the Nightmare Before Christmas, but nah. What other tarot? Slippery tarot. That's just too messy. I can't do that one. Yeah, I think I'll keep the Starchild tarot out. Let's do that. Ooh, change. Everything's changing. These haven't been in the box for a very long time. Right, Sears Tarot. Away. And let me use. You probably could use a bit of a break. I'm getting a bit battered, these cards. I've had them quite some time, huh? Any more switches? Yeah, I'll use that still. I quite like that. And these. Oh, I like them all. They're all good. Just getting ready for my next video. Shooting my next video. Did you do PayPal? I haven't got an email through. Hang on. Yes, thank you, Fiona. Just hasn't sent the email through. Okay, so your question is, I've got it, thanks. It just hasn't sent the email through. When will you find love? Love coming in for Fiona. When? I'm going to get a timing out for you, but then I'm going to... Oh, there's those round cards as well. I forgot about that deck. Anyway, let's get a timing out for you, but the when might be more about what the progression kind of thing. July. So sometime off yet, but let's find out when. Initiate and knowing. Right. Okay. So you'll know. Just everyone say that. It's like you'll know when it is the one. And yeah, there's a wait first. There's a wait first for a reason. So this is kind of saying you don't need to kind of keep looking. Dating kind of isn't going to get you there, because when the right person comes in, you'll know. So you don't need to be looking at the moment. And what else? Right. What you do need to do is tap into your guidance. So there's something for you to do first. Let's find out what that is. Right. And it's to release. It's to release something from the past that you've been judging about yourself. This is about how you feel about yourself, right? We can't attract good loving relationships, romantic relationships. Got it. Thanks, Journey Art. And we can't attract good loving relationships, romantic relationships, until we love ourselves, right? And we're not loving ourselves when we're judging ourselves for stuff that we've done in the past. So, not that we have to be perfect before we can have a relationship or anything, but we're not necessarily going to get the relationship that we want when we haven't sorted ourselves out first, because we'll attract someone that's going to judge us in the same way. And you've probably experienced that before. So that thing that you're really sensitive about because you're judging yourself about it, you attract a partner and then they dig in about that, you know? It's like someone on my YouTube channel said about, like, I really love the way that I look and everything, but I really do not like the sagginess of my eyelids. And that was like one of the first things they had ripped me apart for. I'm not that bothered about the thinness of my hair, but they pulled that apart too. And my thin top lip, that doesn't bother me either. But, you know, yes, my eyelids bother me, and that does bother me. So we attract toward us those people that are going to judge us in the same way that we judge ourselves, and that isn't love, right? It's not love. It's not self-love, and it's not love from someone else as well. But we'll attract someone that's going to judge us in the same way as we judge ourselves. So that's what needs to happen first. Your guidance, encouragement, you are being encouraged to do this already, apparently. So it's being shown to you. And that can be really hard when that kind of thing is shown to you, because it just feels like the world is picking on you. You know, you're being pointed out, like some poking your wound. You know, everyone's poking at your wounds, and the stuff that really hurts you is coming up. But it's an indication you're judging it in yourself. Stop judging it in yourself. Let it go. Let it go. It's interesting because I recently had my teeth done, and that used to bother me. I had a yellow tooth right here. That used to bother me. But people wouldn't judge about that. But it was only kind of, I don't know, when I'd let that go and I wasn't bothered about it anymore, that I could actually get the work done and have it fixed. Hey, Danielle, thanks for your donation. What's your next step in initiating a real separation with your husband? Yeah, clear 3D world guidance would be nice, wouldn't it? Not that we get that much from the guides. They're just bothered about energetics all the time. I know sometimes they go into the real world stuff. Your next step in initiating a real separation with your ex-husband, it's all about your work. So getting more involved in that, in your work, having a good time. So it's like extracurricular kind of worky kind of stuff, getting more involved in it. Almost like filling up your plate so that you don't have energy left for it. You know, when we move on from people, things, it's just so much easier when we've got something new to focus on and our lives are full. You know, it just is, right? It's easier to move on that way. It's very hard to move on when we're kind of in a void, when we're like, you know, how can I get over this? When you've got nothing else going on in your life kind of thing. It's very hard to filling yourself up with work, and especially this extracurricular kind of stuff. So what are people socializing at work and you've not been getting involved or something like that? Or get involved and do that extra stuff. Fill up your time, and that's going to help with that. Moving on. That's the guidance that keeps on coming up. Good. Trust yourself as well. What's under that? And trust yourself. So you've got some self-doubt when you think about moving on. Ask yourself what's under that, because you've got this. You have got this. Like, you don't need to, you know, you're more capable than you think, and you've survived this far and you've done pretty good, you know. So just trust yourself that you can deal with any situation that comes up. So don't be so worried about moving on as well. I'm hearing that you've got literally no evidence. You've got no evidence that you are in an insecure kind of position. You've got no evidence that you can't trust yourself in any situation. So trust that evidence rather than what your mind is coming up with. Remember, we're always going to have an ego mind. It's there. It serves a purpose. It tries to protect us. So it tries to keep us safe from new stuff. So that's always going to come up. You know, it is always going to come up. But we need to recognize it for what it is and not buy into that kind of stuff. So, thank you, Fiona. I do want to do something about my eyelids though. It's not like they can literally hang right down to my eyelashes. And it's the only part, it's the only part of my face that's aging. I've not got any sagginess or anything. My eyelids are just like, fuck this, giving up. I think I need to go and get the blepharoplasty. It would make me feel a lot better. It's just, there's a lot of skin there. You got one more question? Is that? Like the show that'll never end, this one. Immerse yourself in work. And people might say to you that you're trying to, that's not the thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like people say you're working too much. It's like, well, I've got nothing else to do. That's why I was so bored this weekend and stuff was getting to me. I didn't have any work to do. And I couldn't do anything else because it was raining. And I don't particularly want to walk on the beach in the rain and stuff like that. So I just, with that space, and I like being by myself. And I was watching movies and stuff like that, listening, just doing my stuff, but just wasn't chunky enough for me. I like to have like a project or something good to do. Didn't have it. Cool. What's your question? I wouldn't know how to pick, though, someone to do my eyelids. I think it's a pretty simple procedure. Get that skin out. Probably with a 2-week recovery period or something. But it annoys me that I've only just got into makeup when my eyelids are too droopy to be able to do a lot of the things. Is Joey a real twin flame? Oh, is a false one. Questions like this. Are you guys even going to tell you the truth? Because false twin flames, of course, have their purpose. Is Joey Danielle's real twin flame? No. Oh, they're being truthful, are they? Or maybe not. False twin flame, why? Listen and jealousy. Okay. No, because. No, and there's a clue about that. And this is in you, jealousy that's in you. So there's a lack of trust in you. This isn't saying like you need to trust. This is saying you need to listen to that. You need to listen to that jealousy and that lack of trust because it's true. One thing I've noticed, how this reading was saying that there could have been a player before or they've been coming across it as that. One thing I've noticed with mine, which a lot of readers have confirmed it is my twin flame. I'm not so sure about it, but with this guidance, even though other people will gossip about him, and even though I know certain things about him, there's not one part of me that doesn't trust it, because the way he feels about me, it's beyond all of that stuff, and I know it deep down. I have never had that. I've never had this come up at all. And this is saying that you have had that, you've had that mistrust and all of that, and it shows that it isn't. Your true twin flame, there's going to be a deeper knowing about that, no matter what appears on the surface. So listen to that inside of yourself. You see, it's tricky, isn't it? Because there's a lot of teachers out there teaching about twin flames, and really they're teaching about dysfunctional relationships, and they're saying that that's a sign of twin flames. You're feeling that recently. There you go. But you see, just like I've not been able to be with anyone else, I just couldn't. Because he's it. And I know it's the same for him too. I know it's the same for him too. I just know it. I know because the way he is around me. And I know it's the same for him too. That he couldn't be with anyone else now as well. It's just like, it's it. We're meant to be together and I can feel it. And yeah, when you meet your twin flame, it's going to be that. You know, this said about false twins, my guides, that we needed some of us needed someone to do that work with. We needed to believe it, to do certain work toward our twin flame, to get ready for our twin flame kind of thing. So the work that you've done, believing that he is a twin flame, it's been getting you ready for it. Like I had one, and he actually came back into my awareness recently, and I thought maybe it's him. You know, when the guides started talking about there's another one coming in, I thought, oh, maybe it was him after all. He was the false twin, first of all. This one's the real twin. But then they did also say that there could be someone else's twin as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like both doing the work together and then you go off with your real twin. Anyway, there's going to be more support and respect with your real twin. There's going to be, a definite knowing, a definite I can't really explain it, and I'm still not sure I fully believe it myself. But there's definitely a difference with this one with me. It's less of a choice. There's no choice about it. It's less of a choice for me, and more a magnetization kind of thing. There just doesn't seem to be anything that I can do about it. I certainly can't let go of it. I've tried and tried and tried and tried. But then saying that, we knew each other before that, and I didn't go with it because, well, I was with someone else and he was with someone else. So yeah, it is complicated, isn't it? But the real twin, no, you're not going to have that jealousy thing. You guides will confirm that there is. That's the thing. My guides confirmed. My guides have done it before as well. Before I had like the perfect reading once from a friend of mine. This was like way back. This was my first boyfriend that got in touch with me, and I was like believing that he was it, and that I was going to go to Europe, and that was it. We were going to get back together and all of that, and we were talking, and a friend of mine, she did a tarot reading for me, a Celtic cross, and it was just the perfect reading. You know, it was the perfect reading. It was like, yeah, this is it. This is absolutely it. It wasn't that. But I needed to believe it. I needed to believe it to go there to find out, oh, hell no, this is not it. Damn the guides. Oh, wow. Yeah, but you know, we get the signs when it's confirmation that it's right for right now. It's on the path. That's the confirmation that we get is on path, on path, on path. Yeah, not so much. Yes, this is your end result. This is your end result. It's more. Yes, this is on your path. So often that's why I said, like when you ask, are they going to tell you the truth? Because I know I've done enough readings now that I know that they don't tell the truth. That they tell us whatever we need to hear to get the lessons, to get the information, or to get into the energy. Like they really do. They really do. So it's on your way. It's on your way. And I think that's what a lot of people, we want readings to predict the future, don't we? But remember that card that said fate gets involved like the dealer in a poker game. The hand that you played is something, that's the hand of fate, right? But how you play it is also it too. So we do have free will, but it's not complete free will. There's also a dealer of the game too that plays as a hand. And so it's a mixture of the two. So it's what we do with it and what we believe and the choices we make. It plays a part in it. he helped you get to the point. Yeah, it was necessary, and you needed to believe it, and you needed to have those signs. So, and I see that over and over again in readings, is that the confirmation is about what's right for you right now. And I know it. I know it because it's happened to me so many times that I've had that definite guidance and all the signs and everything like that, only to find out it was another lesson. It's sneaky. Anyway, let's finish this show now. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your donations and sticking around. And let's do it all over again in 2 days' time on Wednesday. Have a good one, everyone. Good to see you. Danielle. Bye. Wow, 2 hours.